one heart, promise 5 here?
Well, if you just said it was, you have to have 4 and 4 to double.
Right.
And if you have 3, 4, 3, 3, what are you gonna do?
So,
or that.
let's say that's your hand. Partner opens the club, they overcall a diamond. And you have a diamond stopper, in theory you could bid a no trump, but you still don't want to miss a heart fit, right? Even though one no is not an unreasonable choice by you here. You'd like to find a heart fit. Can you double with that hand?
You said no.
No, because partner might bid a spade, right? Now, in theory, you could recover from a spade and you could bid a no trump next.
But you're not strong.
But we could give you a very similar hand without a diamond stopper where one no wouldn't be very attractive, right? So you might get away with a negative double if you're 4-3 in the majors, but what if you only have a doubleton in the other major? This is why one heart or one spade by you only promises 4, just as if they hadn't overcalled a diamond. Because you can't, you have to be able to show 4 hearts without guaranteeing 5. Just like you do when partner opens a club and it goes pass and you bid a heart. So the thing to keep in mind is so there's really only this situation where we clearly get to distinguish a 4-card suit from a 5-card suit. It only works for the spade suit. This is a luxury that you have with spades being the boss suit. So a club, a heart overcall double by you is exactly 4. A club, a heart overcall, a spade, you get to say you have 5. Notice we flip that around and we make it a spade overcall. It doesn't work, right? We said you might have to make a negative double with 4 or 5 hearts. So, and that's one of the drawbacks that you face, when your suit is hearts. And the way that the bidding is constructed and, things you can do when your side has the boss suit versus when it doesn't have the boss suit. So that's the only situation where at least at the one level, where you get to make a clear distinction between, yes, I have 4 in the major, or no, I have 5 in the major. And so we may run into a situation like this where you're only promising 4 and you've got to make the same bid you would have made if they had overcalled. Now, this was a little easier auction with 1 club and 1 diamond overcall that didn't eat up a lot of bidding space. But we might have a different looking minor suit oriented kind of auction that looks like this. How about a diamond and a 2 club overcall and a double by response?
It's 1.
All right, Denise says this promises 1 major. Betsy says this promises 2, at least 2 fingers. So most of the time, responder does have both majors. And opener, you should treat this auction as such. And if you have a 4-card major, you go ahead and bid it. Usually you're bidding it at the cheapest level. Opener, however, on this auction needs to be very careful about jumping in a major. Because this auction, believe it or not, does not always promise both majors. Can you think of a situation where we could do this and get away with it with only one major?
If you have some safety with diamonds.
Okay. So we saw a similar example, and we'll give you a little better hand this time. So what would you do with that hand? Partner has opened a diamond. There's a 2 club overcall. You only have doubles and spade. You've got a decent 4-card heart holding. And invitational values, right? So game may be in the picture here, depending on whether or not partner has a dead minimum or has a little extra. If you were to have a game, where would the most likely game be? Probably 4 hearts if you have a 5th there, right? Maybe 3-no if partner has a club stopper, but I'm not extraordinarily optimistic because I'm looking at 3 little clubs, and this overcaller has at least 5, maybe 6 clubs. So unless they've overcalled a really bad suit, I don't know that partner's a favorite to have good club stoppers, but it's possible. So it seems like if we have a game, 4 hearts would be the most likely game if partner has 4 hearts. 3-no might be in the picture. We do have a guaranteed diamond fit. Now, I don't know that I wouldn't want to contract for 5 diamonds unless partner had a significantly better, either point-wise or distribution-wise, better than minimum opening hand over there, right? But we can support diamonds. And we know that partner's 1 diamond opening is 4 or more diamonds 96% of the time, right? So we pretty much have a guaranteed diamond fee. All right. So the answer to this is, on this particular auction, partner opens a diamond and they overcall clubs. You get to make a negative double with only 1 major if you have a place to go. You've got to know that you can go back to diamonds. And you will clear that picture up if partner, bad partner bid spades, bad partner. That's okay, we can fix that. Because weren't you always willing to play 3 diamonds with that hand, with 11 points and 4-card diamond support? You were always willing to compete to 3 diamonds. And I think partners should take you for, invitational values here to bid this way. Now, if you had a weaker hand, you might not be able to afford to make your negative double and then correct, right? So we still expect, you don't have to have a full 11 here. I would expect probably a good 9 or 10. Yeah. And in general, a hand that would be willing to play 3 diamonds. You have a plan. You're looking for a heart fit along the way to 3 diamonds, is basically what's happening. So the one thing that we want to make sure of here, and not that you couldn't correct it, but some partnerships might actually have a rule in place here that you can't blast to 4 of the major.
For your partner.
For the opener, in
Yeah.
responding to that negative double, right? Because if partner blasts to 4 spades, you're not going to sit for it, right? I mean, you could correct to 5 diamonds and theoretically get out of this, because you certainly don't want to let partner play spades, right? Your partner is only going to have 4 spades and you have a doubleton, so that's not going to be a good spot for you. So yeah, in theory, you could wiggle out of that and take 4 spades back to 5 diamonds, and maybe partner would get the picture. And if partner has such a good hand that they're jumping all the way to 4 of the major, then I guess I like our chances to make 5 diamonds. Sounds like partner has a pretty distributional hand, but we are still having to take 11 tricks, right? So, so I guess I would just say, as opener, I probably would avoid, if possible, jumping more than 1 level in a major in case partner does have to take you back to diamonds on this auction. Just exercise a little bit of caution. Obviously, if you have better than a minimum opening, you want to show it. And keep in mind that Q-bid might be an option for you too, right? You might have a really good hand and you could come back with 3 clubs if you want to force partner to bid without getting carried away in a suit that is not 100% guaranteed here.
Could you give us an example of one where you might Q-bid?
I mean, we generally think of Q-bid as game forcing, but yeah, what if we do... Actually, let's make it a little better. This hand, I think, is probably worth it. Is that too many? Did I put
Yes.
7 diamonds, I think. Right, let's just make it 6. Okay. Yeah, what about something like that? How would you bid with this hand? If the auction proceeded. So we opened 1 diamond with this hand, right? And we were probably thinking, okay, if we get a chance, we'll jump rebid 3 diamonds. Because that's what the hand is worth, right? 16 count with 6 diamonds. Certainly worth a jump to 3 diamonds. If it went a diamond and partner responded a major, we would jump to 3 diamonds with that hand. Okay, well now it's gone a diamond and there's a 2 club overcall. Partner makes a negative double. Well, you don't really have a major you can bid, right? Since you have doubleton and king third. Ace king doubleton or king third. Your diamonds are clearly rebiddable. Could you jump to 3 diamonds here? You could make the same bid. But you can sort of convey that that's the hand you have. Because if partner has a good enough hand to make a negative double at the 2 level, I think we probably belong in game, right? We expect partner to have 9 or 10 points at a minimum, which means we have game values. So I think what we want to know is, does partner, and the primary purpose here, if you were to Q-bid, I think, would be maybe partner will have a club stopper. So this hand here, I think you're either going to try 3-no if partner has a club stopper, or you're going to play 5 diamonds without. So hopefully on this hand you get to 5 diamonds and just lose your 2 clubs, right?
So what is the 3 clubs ask? Is it asking?
Well, it's forcing. It's just a forcing bid, and the first priority would probably be for partner to bid 3-no.
Is that a Western Q-bid?
It could be interpreted that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it would function that way. In other words, if partner had a club stopper, I think we would hear 3-no. That's what we'd want to hear. Because it doesn't sound like opener has a 4-card major, right? Or they would probably be bidding.
But in this situation, we don't.
We don't have a club stopper. Okay, so, but what you could do is go back to 3 diamonds. And now opener could bid 5. Or if you're not, if you're bypassing no trump anyhow, maybe that hand is actually worth a jump to 4 diamonds. So either way, we'd probably like to get to 5 diamonds. And we would not want to be in 3-no with clubs totally unstopped.
Right, okay.
But 5 diamonds should be pretty easy, right? I mean, something really bad would have to happen for us to not make 5 diamonds. Like someone would have to get a very surprising rough after they took their 2 clubs. And we wouldn't worry about the partner of the club bidder roughing clubs, because we could overruff that after 2 rounds of clubs, right? I do have several more examples for you, but why don't we take a break here around the midway point? We'll look at some more negative double hand examples, and we'll talk about some more of openers, how does opener rebid after the negative double. Strange things.